Wow, there's just so much to unpack in this journey, from heartrending losses to eerie synchronicities that seem almost designed to nudge you toward deeper meaning.
Absolutely, it's like a tapestry woven with tragedy, humor, and all kinds of spiritual signals.
Right. Starting with the father's funeral in 1998, that almost surreal scene of a little girl climbing into his bed with a book, him looking like a Santa figure, and then, the parallel loss of his brother years later. It really sets the tone
Mm.
of recurring loss and the inevitability of tragedy.
Yeah, that moment just shouts that grief isn't isolated. It's more like a persistent presence. What did you make of the Greek tradition of the Trisagion ceremony and that abrupt phone call during the father's funeral?
Oh, that was striking. It's as if the universe, or God, if you will, was oscillating between solemnity and a kind of dark humor. The phone ringing in a quiet space, followed by a whispered joke, almost felt like a signal that something beyond our comprehension was at play.
Right.
The imagery of God chuckling. It's just surreal.
And then there's the cascade of further tragedies: Michael's sudden collapse, Johanna's loss, and then Nikki's terrible car accident. Each event seems to intensify the sense of inevitability and cosmic irony.
Exactly. It's like every loss was punctuated by signs. The bees swimming in the pool, billboards with messages, even the butterflies appearing in the most unexpected moments. I mean, um, some of those moments felt as if the universe was trying to console, or maybe warn. The whole story is laced with these signs.
Yep.
It really gives you that sense of a higher narrative unfolding.
But don't you think at some points the narrative almost leans into coincidence to an extreme? Like the We Jeopardy question about the prophet coming up just minutes after a conversation about the book?
That's a great point. I mean, it's like the universe was aligning details deliberately. It challenges you to question whether these synchronicities are mere coincidences
Mm.
or genuine purposeful signs. It stretches the imagination, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And then there's the intense period of personal transformation, joining weight loss programs, coaching, and even the rough tides in family life. The narrative shifts from external tragedies to internal battles, struggles with willpower, identity, and even marital discord.
Right. Um, the next level and VIP programs really spotlight that. The idea of being thrust into a rigid system of personal development while simultaneously facing rejection from loved ones. It's a perfect storm of personal evolution and heartbreak. And it's almost
Right.
ironic how those programs, which are supposed to uplift you, add another layer of tension when family dynamics come into play.
I was also struck by how humor, even in the face of pain, was used as a coping mechanism. Like those moments where the author, despite the tragedies, finds humor in the absurdity of it all.
Yeah, that was both touching and a bit, contentious. I mean, some might say using humor in the midst of loss is a powerful, resilient response, while others might argue it shows a kind of deflection from fully
Mm,
confronting the grief. What's your take on that?
I can see both sides. Personally, I think humor can be a bridge. It helps us process heartbreak without drowning in it, but it needs to be balanced. It certainly added a human element to an otherwise overwhelming cascade of tragedies.
Exactly. Then you move into these remarkable synchronicities, like the encounters involving the prophet book and all those repetitive hints, the gas station conversation leading to a cassette tape exchange, and even the bizarre family feud and Jeopardy cues. It's as if fate itself is winking at the
Yep.
storyteller. It really makes you wonder about the nature of fate and the messages looming all around us.
And speaking of messages, the intersection of spirituality and everyday life is so vivid here. The encounters at Cracker Barrel, the church journeys, the stirring moments in the men's room at Heinz Hall, it all underscores that every encounter, however minor it might seem, can be laden with meaning.
Right. These weren't just random events. Each sign, from the butterflies to the #1 Cochrane billboard to personal interactions with strangers, seems intricately connected to the grand tapestry of life. It tells us, in a way, that everything and everyone matters. That's the essence of the You Matter message, isn't it?
Yeah, it truly is. And then, as the narrative shifts again, introducing new characters like Kalina, the comedy gigs, even the bittersweet memories with family moments at dinner. The storyteller is not just a passive receiver of fate, but an active participant, reshaping pain into purpose.
Uh-huh. I mean, it's like it's like the tragedies set the stage for a transformation where the artist becomes a conduit for healing and connection, whether it's using comedy to cope, channeling the irony of life into meaningful art, or embracing spiritual awakenings that challenge how we view loss and love.
Mm.
These transitions are really powerful.
And yet, despite all these profound revelations, there's that undercurrent of frustration, like the tension in family dynamics, the fight over control in the home, and the unresolved grief that keeps resurfacing. How do you interpret that balance between personal growth and persistent pain?
That's a critical point. It's not a neat transformation, it's messy and fraught. I mean, the narrative doesn't shy away from the raw, even ugly parts of family conflict, like the disintegration of authority at home, the silent treatment from a son, or a spouse who's lost in her own world of
Yeah,
coaching and self improvement. It's a reminder that growth seldom happens without its share of setbacks.
for sure. And then, on top of that, you have these deeply personal spiritual experiences, dreams about his father, uncanny meetings with mediums and comedians, and even an unexpected call from a woman whose birthday turns into a symphony of coincidences. It's like layers upon layers of life, pain, humor, and destiny.
Exactly. And remember the part about the three miracles at Central Diner? That whole sequence of meeting familiar faces, singing for strangers, and witnessing moments of serendipity culminating in a rainbow? It's astonishing how the author weaves ordinary moments into the extraordinary. It's like a real life fable
Yep.
of interconnected meaning.
Yes, and that finale, the epilogue of continuing health challenges juxtaposed with an unwavering belief that everyone matters, that every moment counts. That message of you matter really reverberates through it all.
Definitely. The narrative isn't just a litany of heartaches. It's a call to recognize that even in our darkest moments, when tragedy seems to strike unrelentingly, the small, beautiful signs still remind us of hope and love. And it challenges the reader to see the universe in everyday details. It teaches us to appreciate the
Yeah,
subtleties,
for sure.
from a bee in a pool to the unexpected tune in a subway.
One element I find fascinating is how the author interacts with these benefactors of fate, even when technology or coincidences seem to mock us, like the misplaced cuff of a cassette recorder during a performance by Teresa Caputo, or the almost absurd moment at Heinz Hall with the unexpected, um, cocaine confession mix up. Don't you think it sometimes undercuts the grandeur?
I get what you're saying. There's definitely a tension there between the miraculous and the mundane. But I'd say that's part of the beauty. It highlights that these profound messages are not delivered in grand, pristine packages. They come wrapped in the quirks and the messy details of everyday life. It's a
Mm.
delicate balance.
Absolutely. It almost pushes us to examine our own lives, like, are we even noticing these signs? And the narrative asks whether we are prepared to handle both the cosmic humor and the unyielding grief that life throws our way.
Right. It's a compelling call to stay present, to cherish every little connection, and to understand that even the smallest gesture, like a kind word at Cracker Barrel, can ripple into something much
Yes.
greater. The journey feels endless, yet every chapter teaches us that we all matter deeply.
And isn't that what makes the story so relatable? Despite all the pain, the losses, and even the family disputes, there's an enduring reminder. Every life has intrinsic worth. It's almost as if each coincidence, each tragic event, is a catalyst for recognizing that worth in ourselves and others.
Exactly. Through tragedy, humor, and the constant barrage of inexplicable events, like the recurring image of the rainbow or the weird yet touching moments in the restroom at the concert, the journey ultimately circles back to hope.
Yep.
And it inspires the listener to, hold on and keep believing even when things seem overwhelmingly chaotic.
It's really a masterful blend of personal anecdote, universal spirituality, and that undeniable bittersweet edge of human experience. Any final thoughts on what ties it all together for you?
For me, it's that enduring belief in the power of connection, the idea that, regardless of the pain, every interaction, every coincidence is a gentle push from something greater. Whether it's through random acts of kindness, the spontaneous appearance of familiar songs, or even unwieldy family moments, each experience is a thread that reminds us you truly matter. And that message ultimately is what resonates the most.
Well said. It's a story that demands we see beyond the surface of everyday chaos, to recognize our value and the deeper, often mysterious connections that bind us all.
Exactly. And hopefully, as listeners, we come away with not just a story of loss and hardship, but a clarion call to embrace every moment, even when it's messy, and affirm that in our unique journeys, we are never truly alone.
Right on.
That's a wrap on this profound conversation.